This class deals with search engines and is one class amongst several on this topic, and it's advisable that you check each of them and make sure you understand each of them. Essentially what we're concerned with here is how to perform efficient searches, ones which would be useful in business, ones which would bring back the right information, and looking at some of the underlying technologies and processes that underpin the whole search routines. So let's start by looking at how, or what factors I should say, affect a site's ranking. Now, when we conduct a search, sites are brought back depending on the keywords we've entered. And the sites are ranked for us, the most important ones coming first. Now clearly the ones that come first are going to get more hits. They're going to get more views and perhaps more customers. So there is a desire on the part of business to get their websites ranked higher. There's always a need to get the ranking of the site as high as possible. When sites are ranked further down the list, people who visit the search engine and bring up a list of sites, they may not go all the way down to the bottom of the list. They may just pick one or two off the top. So there is a desire on the part of business to get higher rankings. So we want to look at what factors affect the ranking of a site when it's when a search engine brings up several sites. Now there's a list of these, and I'll just skip through them and then go through them in somewhat more detail in a few moments. So the first one is keyword prominence. We'll talk about what that means. Keyword frequency, weight, keyword proximity, and keyword placement. So we have 5 different points which may influence a site's ranking. Now let's look at these in a little more detail. We'll start with keyword prominence. The issue here is how fast or how soon do the keywords appear in the website. The keywords are what are picked up by the search engine. The search engine looks for keywords and tries to match the keywords with keywords in its database. So if the keywords come early in the site, then the search engine will pick them up faster and the site may get a higher ranking as a consequence because the site will come up quicker. The first element in HTML is the title tag, the name of the site, the name of the page, the title. And when webmasters are designing sites, they have the title tag. So that's the first one that the search engine will most likely encounter. Now, what would happen if the title of the page was "This is my home page"? Well, the search engine has not been helped here, because if that is the title of the page, then the search engine will look for home page. Well, there'll be probably millions and millions of sites with the word home page. Probably billions of sites nowadays with the word home page. So that will not help at all. So calling a page "This is my home page" does not help the search engine. It will not help the search process. Likewise, if we type in something like "Welcome to my company's homepage," well, there's nothing here for the search engine to latch on to. There's nothing here for the search engine to deal with. Welcome to my company's, well, which company? Homepage. Well, as I said, there are millions and millions and millions of sites with the word homepage. So it doesn't make any sense. So it's important to include the keywords in the head, the meta tag, early in the body of the development. So it's important that keywords are not just listed in the site, in the development of the site, but the keywords themselves are used in the discussion of the product or of the company or of the market or whatever the nature of the site is. So the keywords not only are listed as keywords, but they're also used throughout the site and used early in the site. And this will give it keyword prominence and help the search engine find the keywords and therefore bring back the search quicker perhaps than others and give it a higher ranking. Now, keyword frequency. Well, search engines may determine your site's popularity by checking how frequently the keyword or phrase appears on the page. So it's looking at the frequency of the keywords. How many times the keywords used in the write-up on the home page. The keyword could be a certain product. Now, if the product is mentioned many times on the home page, it appears more frequently. It's not only listed as a keyword, but it's used as well on the home page, and it's used frequently. The downside with that is, of course, that too many uses of the same keyword on a page, on a single page, may annoy the reader, the user. If the user is reading the page and the same set of words are coming up very frequently, the user is going to get annoyed with the page. It doesn't look like it's been well written or with the user in mind. So there's a downside to this issue. So a balance must be struck. Good keyword frequency, which will help the search engine, but at the same time will not alienate the reader. Keyword weight. It's also known as the keyword density. Measure by comparing the number of keywords appearing on the web page with the total number of words on the page. So we take the number of keywords, take total number on the page. If there's 100 words on the page and keywords amount to 5, then the 5% will be the keyword weighting. In most cases, we try not to exceed a weight of 3 to 10%. So somewhere between 3 to 10%, but I just calculated a 5% a moment back. But there is again a balance to be struck here. You must not alienate the reader. If the same keywords are coming up over and over, the readers will get turned off the page. They will not like what they're experiencing. At the same time, the keyword weight is an important factor to be taken into account when helping the search engines locate the keywords and locate the site. Keyword density is the percentage of times a keyword or phrase appears on a web page compared to the total of number of words on the page. Now let's look at keyword proximity. Well, the placement of keywords on a web page in relation to each other is a measure of their keyword proximity. So it's the placement of keywords on a page in relationship to each other. This is known as keyword proximity. For example, home loans will outrank a citation about home mortgage loans. Home loans, two keywords coming together. Now they're in very close proximity, they're next to each other. And if they're separated by the word mortgage, which may not be listed as a keyword on the site, then that means the search engine is looking for two keywords. They're separated out, and it takes more time, it takes more effort, if you like, on the part of the search engine to track down these particular words. Whereas home loans comes together, and the search engine will list that faster. Take, for example, Smith Brothers has been selling puppy food for over 50 years. Now, puppy food, well, sounds like two keywords coming together, puppies and food. Smith Brothers has been selling food for your puppies. Now, for your puppies, for your, separates the two words, so they're not in close proximity. So it's best to try and get the keywords together if possible. Depends on how the site reads, and depends on how the page reads. So the user experience is very important. However, if it is possible to get the keywords together, then that will help the search engine and get a better listing. Keyword placement. Search engines favor websites that contain keywords in the title tag. The title tag of the page, I mean, keywords listed there are favored by the search engines. The search engines, if you like, have to do less work. The page title, the page tag, gives them the keywords, so they're able to index it straight away and look at their database and make the listing. So keywords in the title tag are particularly favored by the search engines. There are also meta tags that developers use, and you can see these if you wish on any website. If you open any website and right click it and click view source, you will see the source code for that particular site. And if you look at the source code, then you have areas within the development of the page for the header, the footers, the title tags, and the main body of the site, and so on. But you'll also have places where there are keywords listed. So the search engine will look for the keywords there. And there are headline tags. The first 25 words of the body is also a good place to mention the keywords, because at least the keywords are coming early in the description of whatever the site is about. So they're coming early in the site, and probably within the first 25 words is a good place to list keywords. So these are some of the places where the keywords can be put, which will improve the chances of getting a high search engine ranking. May also, of course, be listed in hyperlinks, and they could also be listed against images. Images may have links associated with them. They may be rollover images or simply hotspots that can be clicked and moved to a different page. But in moving to the other page, if the keywords can be linked in so that the other page has the same title as the keywords, then there is an added benefit for the search engine. And having said all of that, text near the end of the document is also quite useful. Sometimes search engines will pay particular attention to the title of the document, the title of the site, look at the meta tags associated with the keywords, look at the placement of the keywords on the home page, and also skip on to the very end, just off to the very end of the site, and have a look around there. So having the keywords towards the end is also useful. Now, when we think about the use of search engines, we also think about how sites themselves can get listing in prominent places in the search queries that have been entered. But also we need to look at what's known as the click popularity and the stickiness of sites. Click popularity is a measure of the number of clicks received by each site in a search engine's results page. So the search engine brings back a list of results. Which sites get clicked? Which sites get opened? And of course the ones that get opened become more popular, and the search engine will remember that these are popular sites, and next time round, if a similar query is entered, the order in which the sites are presented will be influenced by the previous click popularity. Stickiness is a measure of the amount of time a user spends on a site. It's calculated according to the time that elapses between each of the user's clicks on the search engine's results page. So stickiness is the amount of time that we spend on a site. So if we spend a lot of time on a site, it improves the ranking of the site. The search engine will consider it to be an important site, a site that should have a higher listing perhaps. There are sites which will tell you or help you with the checking the popularity and stickiness of different sites. So in summary, the use of resources to search different kinds of information. So we use search engines to help us to find different types of information. There are all sorts of ways in which we can enter information in terms of a search query. If we have too many hits or too few hits, we adjust what we're searching. We may use Boolean queries to help us to influence the sort of information that we're going to get back. The popular sites the search engine will list first, so they have an advantage. So webmasters are constantly looking for ways in which they can improve the status of their listing, whereabouts in the listings they come. Ideally number one, but not everybody can be number one. We use successive query refinement to achieve effective search queries. So we're always trying out new ways of searching, new words, words that will bring up a sort of uniqueness about the search. The use of uncommon words will reduce the number of hits. If we enter homepage as a search, we'll get many sites. In fact, we get so many sites that the search itself was broadly irrelevant. So we use uncommon words sometimes to try and filter the search results. I have to think carefully about the keywords that are typed in the search engine. It's important that the keywords that are typed into the search engine will correspond to keywords related to the product or service that we're looking for. If they're not, then we're going to bring back useless results. We're going to bring back results which have wasted our time. So we should be looking to the product and trying to describe the product, thinking of what words will be associated with the product, and hopefully the web designer who is putting up the site for that particular product will have used the same type of keywords. So we use Boolean queries when you need to combine keywords. In a different video we talked about Boolean queries. It's the use of and, or, not. So we we type in something and something else. We're looking for two parts. We're looking for two things. And sites, only sites which have those two aspects will be brought up. We could bring up A or B, in which case we have A, or alternatively we have B. So we get one or the other. So there are various Boolean queries that we can use to try and refine our search. And when we create our own homepage, just think, can it be easily indexed by search engines? Think of the name of the page or the pages in the site. Think of the meta tags that we use, the keywords that we enter. Can they be picked up easily by search engines? And that is important. There are some references that may be useful. And that's all I want to do on search, and that completes our discussion of this topic on search. So let's leave it at that and say thank you for watching.